Welcome to Star Chill Vibes. Dive into the universe of astrology, cosmic energies, and celestial insights with a relaxed, fun twist.
Perfect for stargazers who love to vibe with the cosmos. Get your dose of Zodiac, moon moods, and spacey good vibes.
We are so excited you're here with us. Today, we are embarking on an extremely focused deep dive.
And it is truly tailor-made for you, our Capricorn listeners. We're centering this whole conversation on the sea goat and the, monumental energy shifts coming in 2026.
That's right. Our mission today is a really rigorous, detailed analysis of the 2026 forecast, specifically for the Capricorn solar and rising sign.
And we mean detailed. This isn't a quick surface-level look.
Not at all. We're extracting the most critical strategic takeaways, focusing exclusively on how those massive, slow-moving outer planets interact with the monthly flow.
So you can really understand how to manage the fundamental restructuring that is. Well, it's already on its way.
And restructuring is absolutely the word for it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the only word. Globally, 2026 is a universal #1 year. It's all about bold, new beginnings, intense individuality, just starting fresh.
And for Capricorn, a sign that literally defines itself by structure and discipline and security, that has to feel a little bit jarring.
It's a huge call to action. The cosmos is basically demanding that you apply that foundational energy to areas you thought were completely fixed.
Like what? What are we talking about here?
You're talking about your money, your daily routine, and your emotional foundation at home, the absolute core of your life.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to be mapping those big outer planet movements, Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune, to the houses that are most critical for Capricorn security.
Exactly. We're focusing on the 2nd, the 4th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th houses. This is where your new stability is going to be forged in 2026.
All right, let's start with those gravitational forces. I mean, the long-term transits that really define the whole landscape, not just for the next year, but for maybe decades to come.
These are the pillars. When the slowest planets shift houses, it's like the entire shoreline of your life changes. These aren't quick fixes or temporary themes.
They're generational cycles hitting you personally.
Exactly. And we have to start with Pluto, the planet of destruction, transformation, and ultimate power.
And it's firmly established in Aquarius now.
Firmly. And it's going to be there until 2043. For Capricorn, Aquarius rules your 2nd house.
The house of personal resources, earned income, and, crucially, self-worth.
That's the one.
Okay, this sounds way more intense than just a standard financial forecast. If Pluto is about deep power and rebirth, what does that actually mean for a Capricorn in their 2nd house?
It means the fundamental nature of what you consider security is changing. Pluto in the 2nd demands a profound and, let's be honest, often painful, deep-seated transformation in how you relate to wealth, to value, to what makes you feel secure.
And with Aquarius ruling things like technology, decentralization, collective networks.
Right, so the focus shifts away from that traditional centralized way of accumulating wealth, the old Capricorn way. It moves toward restructuring how you earn.
So it's not just about getting a raise.
No, not at all. It's about demanding that your income streams align with your authentic power and your real values. I mean, if you're earning money in a way that feels soul-crushing or inauthentic, Pluto will eventually dismantle it.
So if the source of your income is tied to an old persona or an outdated industry, Pluto's coming in to force a reckoning.
It is the reckoning. This is about confronting hidden technological debts, or maybe examining passive income streams, or even dealing with power struggles over shared assets. Pluto forces you to move past what society says success is and define your own authentic metrics for wealth.
And we get a mandatory check-in on this process right in the middle of the year.
We do, a forced internal audit. Pluto goes retrograde from May 6th to October 15th, still right there in your 2nd house.
So what does that feel like?
It forces a review. If you've made big changes to how you earn earlier in the year, this is the period where you have to ask the hard questions. Is this new strategy truly empowering me? Is my wealth tied to my personal power, or is it tied to manipulating others?
It's an integrity check.
It's the ultimate integrity check. The retrograde is about integration, making sure the self-worth you're projecting on the outside actually matches your internal feeling of security. It's less about accumulation and way more about authenticity.
Okay, so this need for absolute financial authenticity that has to ripple out into the day-to-day. You can't change your income without changing how you work.
You can't, and that brings us to the 2nd monumental pillar.
The Great Awakener, Uranus.
That's the one, and it's so deeply connected to what Pluto is doing. Uranus, the planet of upheaval, genius, and radical innovation, fully enters Gemini on April 26, 2026.
And Gemini for Capricorn is the sixth house.
Your sixth house of work, health, service, and daily routine. This transit sets the tone for the next 8 years.
8 years. For a sign that loves predictability like Capricorn, that sounds like.
8 years of controlled chaos. It really does.
So the sixth house is our daily grind, our wellness. What happens when the planet of lightning strikes that steady routine?
You can expect constant, radical professional reinvention. Uranus in the sixth literally urges you to upgrade your entire relationship to work.
Pushing you off that traditional corporate ladder.
Completely off it. And into more unconventional arrangements. Since Gemini rules communication, technology, quick learning, your reinvention might involve becoming an independent consultant, a fractional worker.
Or focusing on some high-tech niche skill.
Exactly. Things like AI consultation, specialized data analysis, things that align with Gemini's airy speed. If you ignored an intellectual passion for a stable job, Uranus is now forcing you to integrate it and monetize it.
So the stability that Capricorns cherish has to become more flexible, more adaptable.
Precisely. Your daily life is just speeding up. It demands quick adaptation and a willingness to constantly be learning new things.
That kind of constant professional energy has to take a toll on the body, though.
It does. And the sixth house is health. Uranus is electric. It's fragmented. So your health routines might experience sudden, unexpected shifts.
Like what?
You might suddenly need new, unconventional wellness practices, or you might just have to address nervous system overload. Uranus in Gemini is about being flooded with information and stimuli.
So things like mindfulness and serenity become critical.
They become non-negotiable. You might find you have to take sudden, unexpected health breaks just to reset your entire system. It's about building radical serenity into that chaotic routine.
All right, let's bring it all back home now. The third pillar feels maybe the most personal. Saturn and Neptune restructuring the foundations in the fourth house.
This one is profound, especially because Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet. This is about your roots, your domestic life, your emotional security.
And both Saturn and Neptune are moving into Aries.
They both definitively enter Aries, your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations, in early 2026. Saturn gets there by February 14th.
Valentine's Day. How fitting.
Isn't it? And this kicks off a multi-year cycle of building structure and discipline in your most private emotional life.
Okay, but hold on. Saturn demands rigid structure, realism. Neptune is the great dissolver. It's about spiritual transcendence, dreams.
Right.
So for a Capricorn trying to, say, renovate their house or move, how do you implement structure when the very foundation, Neptune, feels kind of illusory and foggy?
That is the central paradox of this whole transit. It's the challenge and the gift. Saturn is forcing you to look at your family dynamics and your home structure without any rose-colored glasses.
Hard reality.
The hardest. But with Neptune co-present, this whole restructuring involves spiritual maturity. It's this deep desire to filter out what is not authentic in your domestic life,
So you're building boundaries with family members, which is Saturn.
while also doing ancestral healing work, which is Neptune. You're trying to build a physical home, a structure that also serves as a spiritual sanctuary.
And the moment these two forces meet has to be critical in 2026.
Absolutely. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction is on February 20th in Aries. It symbolizes the moment these forces align on the themes of selfhood and new beginnings right in your home life.
So that's the moment that sets the tone.
It really does. It's asking you to bring discipline to your dreams of an ideal home. If you've always dreamed of living somewhere specific, Saturn says, okay, make a practical plan. But Neptune says, make sure that place actually feeds your soul.
And we get a really clear distinction in the energy depending on the time of year because of Saturn's movement.
Yes, exactly. Saturn is direct until June 26th. So the first 6 months of the year, that's your initiating phase.
That's when you start the building projects, set the new boundaries with family.
That's the period of external productivity. Then the second half of the year, Saturn goes retrograde, starting June 29th. And that calls for internal review, introspection,
Dealing with the emotional consequences of the changes you made.
and the hidden obstacles. The first half is the hammer, the second half is the reflection.
Wow. Okay, we've set this long-term stage for monumental change in money, work, and home. So now, let's drill down into the monthly flow.
Let's do it. And for the first half of 2026, the dominant theme is all about relationship expansion.
And that's driven by Jupiter, right?
Driven by Jupiter's presence in Cancer, which is your seventh house of partnerships, Jupiter here brings accelerated growth and opportunity to relationships, clients, even marriage.
So growth comes through other people.
It does. But the year starts with a need for patience There's a bit of a retrograde hangover from 2025.
Okay, let's look at January. Capricorns are usually so focused during their birth month.
And they will be. The sun is in Capricorn, your first house, until January 21st. So there's a laser focus on personal identity, setting powerful intentions.
And their ruler, Saturn, is moving direct, so it's a good time to plan.
A great time to strategize those big foundational projects. However, Mars, the action planet, is retrograde in Cancer, your 7th house, and that continues until March 18th.
So if I'm a Capricorn trying to launch a business partnership or finalize a commitment in January, Mars is pumping the brakes.
Absolutely. Mars retrograde is all about review and reflection on shared motivations. You have to review existing agreements, not start new, aggressive actions.
And Jupiter is still retrograde too.
It is, until March 10th. So this whole period continues the relationship review that started late in 2025. It's about stabilizing partnerships through honest dialogue and shared purpose.
So the cosmic mandate for January is plan, strategize, review, do not launch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't sign anything major on the dotted line if you can help it.
Okay, moving into February, we hit a really pivotal moment, the first eclipse of the year and that major conjunction you mentioned.
February is deeply active. On February 17th, we get an annular solar eclipse in Aquarius, your 2nd house.
Back to money. And solar eclipses bring sudden new beginnings, right? But they're unpredictable.
Very unpredictable. In the 2nd house, this could be about financial innovation, a sudden new influx of cash from an unconventional source.
Thanks to Aquarius.
Right. Or just an unexpected shift in how you earn your money. Because eclipses are disruptive, the smart move is to use this time to audit your passive income streams or your tech investments, but avoid any major unplanned financial risks.
And then just a few days later, we get that moment you highlighted, the meeting of structure and spirituality.
The Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries on February 20th. This really sets the tone for the long-term changes in your 4th house foundations. It's asking you to bring discipline to your dreams or a structure to your spiritual maturity.
And then communication gets fuzzy.
Right on its heels,
I-
Mercury goes retrograde on February 25th in Pisces, your 3rd house of local communications, siblings, and minor agreements.
What are the practical effects of that for a busy Capricorn?
Well, this is where logic just seems to dissolve into fog. Travel plans might get confusing or need constant rechecking. Communication with a sibling or a neighbor might be really unclear.
So double check everything.
Triple check everything. Instead of launching a new communication campaign, this is the time to review old emails, refine existing proposals, or just journal. Action feels foggy, so stick to administrative tasks.
Okay, so then we move into March. We hit the 2nd eclipse, and it sounds like that partnership energy finally starts moving forward again.
It does. On March 3rd, we have a total lunar eclipse in Virgo. That's your 9th house of higher learning, travel, and established belief system.
And lunar eclipses bring endings, culminations.
Necessary ones. So this could be finishing a degree or a major certification. It could be closing a chapter related to long-distance travel, or even releasing a deeply held belief that just doesn't serve your new professional structure anymore.
And Mars finally finishes its retrograde early in the month.
Yes. On March 2nd, Mars enters Pisces, the 3rd house. The aggressive impulse is softened by Pisces water. Action becomes more about delivery, not conquest.
So using soft power and local interaction.
Exactly. But the real pivot is that partnership boost on March 10th. Jupiter stations direct in Cancer, your 7th house.
The green light.
The green light is on. This re-energizes relationships, romance, client contracts, everything that's been under review for months. Emotional conversations that lead to healing and reconciliation are so favored here. This is when the expansion really begins.
And then April brings the full force of that Uranian revolution into daily life, which we talked about as one of the big long-term pillars.
That's right. On April 26th, Uranus fully enters Gemini, permanently settling into your 6th house. This is the moment, the next 8 years of radical, authentic change in your work and health routines. It truly kicks off right here.
So if you had any inertia holding you back from applying for that weird job or starting that niche side hustle,
Uranus is the shock you need to move forward. It reinforces the need for job shifts, for learning new skills, for embracing technology in your everyday routine.
and the transits in April really seem to highlight that classic Capricorn tension, balancing career and home.
Oh, absolutely. April is defined by the push-pull between your 10th house of career and your 4th house of home. A full moon around April 1st brings a culmination or high visibility moment at work. It demands your professional attention.
And then just 2 weeks later,
A new moon around the 17th focuses intensely on home life, demanding you address domestic needs and your emotional foundations.
So you're literally standing in the middle, trying to balance these two worlds.
Right when Saturn is simultaneously demanding you solidify that home life. It's a major balancing act.
Okay, so May and June sound like they're the relationship high point of the year, right before this huge internal pivot.
They really are. This is the culmination of that seventh house expansion. In May and June, Jupiter is maximizing its expansive power in Cancer.
So this is a peak time for what, love? Business.
All of it. Fated moments in love, strengthening existing commitments, signing really beneficial client contracts. For singles, this is a prime time to meet a significant connection.
And it would feel emotionally resonant because of Cancer.
Exactly, like a family bond. If you've been working on healing or improving a partnership, this is when you really reap the rewards of all that emotional labor.
But the first half of the year doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a double deceleration.
A massive internal pivot. You're right. The transition is marked by two major retrogrades, starting almost at the same time. Saturn goes retrograde in Aries, your fourth house, on June 29th.
Which immediately shifts the energy inward.
Deep review of the foundations you just started building. If you started a major renovation, expect delays. You'll need to revisit budgets, boundaries. It just slows the pace of external progress at home.
And at the same time.
At the same time, Mercury goes retrograde on June 29th in Cancer, your seventh house.
Oof. Mercury retrograde in the House of Partnerships and Contracts.
Yeah.
That sounds like a major caution sign.
It's a huge caution sign. Do not initiate new contracts, partnership agreements, or major commitments until it ends in late July. The focus shifts entirely to reviewing existing agreements, revisiting old partnerships, and working through any unresolved emotional stuff from the first half of the year.
So it's like the universe hits the brakes twice, forcing you to turn inward for the summer.
Exactly. Reassess both your foundations and your commitments.
Okay, so the second half of 2026 is defined by this massive strategic shift in resources. Jupiter leaves the seventh house and enters the eighth.
And this is a profound change in your financial landscape. Jupiter enters Leo, your eighth house, on June 30th. This kicks off a year-long transit of accelerated growth for receiving money and resources from external sources.
Okay, what does that mean practically for a Capricorn?
It means a heightened focus on shared finances, taxes, loans, investments, bonuses, maybe even receiving an inheritance. The universe is bringing you gifts, but they're coming through other people.
So your willingness to engage in joint ventures or manage debt strategically, that's key.
It's key, as is emotional intimacy. That opens those doors even wider.
So while Pluto is forcing you to transform your earned income in the second house, Jupiter is expanding your unearned income in the eighth.
Precisely. It's this amazing dynamic where your strategic management of debt or investments, the hidden resources, can grow exponentially, maybe even faster than your direct salary. It encourages deep vulnerability and big picture planning.
July is packed then. We have this Jupiter shift, but it's also deep retrograde season.
It is, but the structure you're being asked to build is supported by this really powerful long-term aspect. The Uranus sextile Neptune on July 15th.
And what does that do?
It connects that authentic work reform Uranus in your sixth house with the solidifying of your home foundation's Neptune in your fourth. It's like a cosmic green light that says, yes, the radical career changes you're making are actually stabilizing your home and emotional life.
So integration feels possible.
It feels attainable. And Neptune turning inward supports the Saturn retrograde. Neptune goes retrograde on July 7th in your fourth house.
So while Saturn is handling the structural audit of your home,
Neptune is turning the focus inward on healing, on spiritual practices connected to your roots and your family history. It's a time to dissolve toxic emotional patterns you inherited, which allows you to build those genuine spiritual boundaries that Saturn is demanding.
okay, August brings the second set of eclipses, focusing intensely on this new financial axis and wrapping up communications.
August is a crucial month. Major financial breakthroughs. On August 12th, the total solar eclipse in Leo hits your eighth house.
Another new beginning.
A bold new beginning around shared resources, taxes, or intimacy. This opens a powerful 6-month portal for growth in a partner's wealth or in your investments. It might show up as a significant bonus, a major loan approval, or just a deep breakthrough in an intimate partnership.
And the second eclipse closes a chapter on local communication.
That's the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, your third house, on August 28th. It's closing a chapter on local communications, minor agreements, dealings with siblings, that sort of thing.
An emotional culmination.
Very emotional. It's the final piece of information or the final conversation you need to have to move forward. But given the pressure of an eclipse, it's best to avoid signing any major contracts or making final decisions right around that date.
So September and October, we seem to settle into this deep, introspective work driven by those ongoing retrogrades and the start of a Venus retrograde.
Exactly. With Saturn and Neptune still retrograde in your 4th house, September and October are a necessary period of grounding. This internal work on family dynamics and emotional security is absolutely essential. It directly supports the bigger transformation of value that Pluto is driving in your 2nd house.
You're stabilizing the inner house so the outer career can be restructured.
That's a perfect way to put it. Then October brings the highly anticipated Venus retrograde.
Which always requires refinement in our social and public lives.
It does. It starts October 3rd, moving from Scorpio, your 11th house of friends and groups, back into Libra, your 10th house of career and public image.
So this transit forces you to refine friendships, reassess group goals.
And critically review your public image and your career goals. You might find old contacts resurfacing or old financial themes coming up for review. It stirs up issues around power dynamics and friendships or conflicts over group money.
And then Mercury joins the retrograde party again.
It does in that same part of the chart. Mercury is retrograde from October 24th to November 13th in Scorpio, your 11th house.
So, extra care with technology and social networking.
Absolutely. Miscommunications within your friend groups or networks are very likely. This is a strong period for journaling about your future goals or revisiting group contracts. It forces you to reflect on what you truly want from your community and your big picture aspirations.
November sounds like it might be the most significant karmic pivot of the entire year, a nodal shift.
It is the ultimate turning point in identity development. It sets the stage for the next 18 months. On November 25th, the lunar nodes shift signs.
Rahu, the north node, moves into Capricorn.
Your 1st house. And Ketu, the south node, moves into Cancer, your 7th house.
Let's unpack that. Rahu in the 1st house means this compulsive drive toward your own identity. But Ketu in the 7th demands detachment from partners. How does that affect a Capricorn's choices?
It fundamentally reorients your identity away from defining yourself through your partnerships. Rahu in the 1st creates this unrelenting drive towards self-development, personal ambition, your appearance, achieving status for yourself.
It's an obsession to define who am I outside of anyone else.
Exactly. And conversely, Ketu in the 7th encourages you to release outdated emotional baggage, karmic debts, or past life ties related to your partnerships. You're encouraged to release codependent habits or roles you play for a partner.
So the lesson is that true success now hinges on radical self-determination, even if it feels a little isolating in your relationships.
That's it, exactly. This shift sets the stage for a new phase of intense, focused self-development where your personal identity becomes paramount. Relationships built on mutual respect and individual growth will thrive. Those built on old patterns or obligation will face huge pressure to dissolve or evolve.
And finally, December brings that forward momentum back, just in time for the new year, but with one final reflection period.
Yes, the year ends on a note of structural clarity after that long retrograde season. Saturn stations direct in Aries, your 4th house, on December 10th.
So home projects and family agreements can move forward again.
They can. You can finally execute the plans you spent the summer reviewing. Then Neptune stations direct on December 12th, clarifying your spiritual path, your boundaries, and filtering out any final illusions in your domestic life.
A fog lifts.
The fog finally lifts.
But the financial focus turns inward one more time.
It does. Jupiter goes retrograde in Leo, your 8th house, right at the end of the month. This suggests a need to just relax, turn inward, and reflect on the significant financial and transformative changes you experienced in the 2nd half of the year.
So it's an accounting period.
It is. It's a final retrograde that asks you to make sure you truly understand the value and the strings attached to the shared resources or investments you've secured. It's a moment of gratitude and accounting before you head into 2027.
That was an expansive and wow, a strategically important journey through a truly life-defining year for Capricorn.
It really is. If you pull the lens back, 2026 is demanding self-determination financially and professionally like never before.
Absolutely. The stability that Capricorn is always seeking. It's found not in avoiding the chaos of Uranus or the deep demands of Pluto.
No, it's found by willingly engaging in a profound restructuring of your life's core foundations. your home, your work, your values, to align with a more authentic future.
You're taking a matter-of-fact look at what you've built, shedding what's obsolete, and preparing for a new cycle of achievement defined entirely by you.
What's fascinating to me is how the structural change is so inherently supported. You have this long-term current of Pluto demanding you transform how you value yourself in the second house.
While Uranus is suddenly sparking this radical reform in your daily work life in the sixth house.
Right. And those two houses are in a powerful supportive relationship. It means those spontaneous, unconventional shifts in your routine are deeply connected to your financial and personal evolution.
That's the key takeaway, isn't it? Integration.
It's all about integration. The greatest growth comes from aligning your daily life, your income structure, and your deepest sense of worth. By the end of 2026, with that nodal shift, your identity will be entirely refocused on making those three areas click.
So as you look ahead to the monumental shifts of 2026, maybe consider this final provocative thought. How will you choose to integrate the lightning spark of Uranus in your sixth house, those radical unexpected work changes, with the deep power of Pluto in your second house, your financial transformation?
The goal is to let your most authentic expression of who you are define how and what you earn.
Trust that the structure you build now, whether it's new boundaries in your home life or a totally revamped career, will be the scaffolding for the long-term success that Capricorn is absolutely destined for.
Beautifully put.
If this deep dive resonated with your cosmic vibes, we encourage you to comment, like, and subscribe to Star Chill Vibes so we can keep exploring the universe together.
Until next time, keep looking up.